guys, it's Ekko here, and today I'm going to be starting a series on my channel. This series is called Best Class Setups in Infinite Warfare. I hope you all will enjoy this video, and without further ado, let's begin. In this episode, we are looking at the Ripper, which is the epic variant of the RPR Evo. I really like this gun, and I think that it's very overpowered. It can melt people in SMG mode and snipe targets in AR mode. The Ripper comes with 2 extra perks: Rapid Fire, which is basically increased fire rate. This is really good because in this game there is no rapid fire attachment. It only exists as a variant perk like you would get on this gun, meaning unlike in other Call of Duties where you could just throw it on any weapon you wanted, you can't do that in Infinite Warfare. The second bonus is that you get focus or reduced idle sway while aiming down sights. I personally don't think this is very effective because you aren't really going to be hard scoping with an SMG like the RPR Evo, and that's why it's kind of pointless. But the increased fire rate is what's letting you win all the gunfights with this variant. Also, a pretty cool thing about this gun is the fact that it's the Ripper from COD Ghosts. However, in that game it came out as a DLC gun, and because Ghosts didn't have supply drops, it cost around £4 to £5, so that is how you got it in that game. Another good feature of the Ripper is that in both games it has the ability to change from an SMG to an assault rifle, and the assault rifle has a kind of ranged elo sight on it, and the SMG just has iron sights. When you switch modes, the stats of the weapon change, so the damage, the range, everything changes. So now, when you're in assault rifle mode, this gun feels like it melts people in around 2 to 3 bullets, and it's probably one shot in hardcore, and of course in SMG mode it kills people easily at close range. I think this gun is definitely worth the salvage, and you should buy it if you can, but it's a gun that you have to be good with for it to be good, if that makes sense. One of the downfalls of this gun is the recoil. Sometimes the recoil on this gun can get you killed many times, and obviously it will get you annoyed quite easily. A couple of ways to control this is obviously run foregrip attachment, but another thing is to always make sure that assault rifle mode is up any medium to long range gunfights, and when you're close range you need to have the SMG form up. This is completely necessary, and you're definitely going to lose the gunfights otherwise. The recoil in the assault rifle mode isn't that bad, but you can usually just tap fire it, but on the SMG mode you need to be holding down the triggers and pulling down on the thumbstick. Using this gun does take a bit of skill and practice because a lot of guns in the more recent CODs have little to no recoil, but this gun actually has a moderate amount, so you might need to use some aiming tips while playing with this gun. Anyways, let's talk about the class setup for this video. Here it is now. As you can see, I like to run grip, quick draw and silencer. Grip because of the recoil problem with this gun, and obviously it's just going to help you control it. Quick draw because I think that it's important on every gun, and I believe that it's probably one of the best attachments in the whole game, and it's just going to let you draw the sights up faster after sprinting, so that's kind of vital if you want to be playing quite well in COD. And lastly, it's the suppressor. This keeps you off the minimap, and the only negative downfall to this is that it decreases your damage slightly at range. But with this gun, if you're going to play good with it, you shouldn't really be taking long range gunfights, so you might as well stick suppressor on there. The perks that I run are pretty standard, so there's dexterity for faster reloads, ghost to stay off the map. In perk 2 slot there is hardline because it will maximise the score that you can get with this gun, and in perk 3 I run hardwired because of all the things that hardwired can counter, for example like the trip mines and counter UAVs and stuff like that. So hardwired is probably the best third perk in the game. Now, you might be thinking, won't you run out of ammo because you're not using scavenger? There is an interesting way to counter that. So, if you don't know, in the synaptic payload, there's rewind and propulsion. Well, propulsion helps you get around the map faster, and rewind can actually be used for two things. There is kind of a glitch where you can win more gunfights easier, but I might get into that in a later video. But another thing that I would recommend using it for is when you're low on ammo, you just like pop it off and then you go backwards, because this actually restores some, or if not all, of your ammo each time that you use it. And you get this thing every about a minute or 60 seconds, so it's not the end of the world if you accidentally trigger it. Now, another thing in the series is tell you that I will do in the series is tell you, well, if this is a variant on the class setup, whether or not it's worth the salvage. If you do like the RPR Evo, I would recommend getting it, but the only difference is of course the recoil and the kind of redesign. So yeah, if you're strong with the RPR Evo, I'd recommend getting it, but if not, you might want to consider something else. There are two main reasons why I like the Ripper. One is that it's really good at close quarters and can kill very fast, but probably a more important reason is because it's actually really nostalgic for me and probably a lot of other people. I think it's really cool that Infinity Ward decided to add this as a variant in the game, and as you can see, if you run it with no camo, it looks identical to the one back in Call of Duty Ghosts. Now, the Ripper is probably the best DLC gun, in my opinion, ever in COD. Because before this came about, we never saw any gun that could change class and even change sights. And to have a hybrid with this gun is just amazing. So you can change it from being really close quarters and spraying and praying with an SMG to basically cross-firing, or firing across the map with the assault rifle mode. And before the Ripper came along, there was no gun, well, except the Peacekeeper, but that's not really the same thing. There was no gun to be the equivalent to this. So, anyway guys, I hope you all enjoyed this class setup and in-depth look at the Ripper or the RPR Evo. If you're new to the channel, feel free to subscribe, and see you all in the next video. Peace.